I got a comment a while back saying they can't see what's in the background. But now, you can. You're welcome. It's not quite done yet, but I'm slowly trying to get all the equipment that I need. Looks pretty legit, right? I like it. I like it a lot. It's gonna look even better when I get some more of the equipment in. Now, of course, what's up, guys, and welcome to a brand new video with your host, Talos, one half of the tag team champions, the Stilly Boys. Now, last week we talked about some pretty much Sony versus Microsoft and a little bit about the whole Mixer situation. But you guys know that there's some iffy situations happening with Twitch and why I think Twitch may be in trouble. Now, this video is about to get juicy. Real juicy, so I brought the big guns. Oh yeah. It's actually pretty low juice, but not this news. We're gonna go into diving deep here. So, let's roll into it. Before we get started, of course, a word from our sponsors. Today's sponsor of the video is Webull, the comprehensive tool for buying and selling stocks.
Webull offers 2 free stocks, one for signing up and one for the initial deposit.
Not only that, but they also occasionally offer additional free shares through various contests.
Sign up today and get started with your 2 free stocks.
And of course, using our affiliate links down below also helps support the show right here that you're watching. Now, for the rest of the video, I might have to turn the lights in the back off because they say that the lights, especially at 100% brightness, don't last very long, which is kind of unfortunate. I was just kind of testing out some new products, and this is an idea of what I want to do. But as I mentioned before, I'm still waiting for some new equipment to come in, and hopefully it'll be better than what we have. So for now, we'll turn it off. Back to the video. Now, of course, I am not a financial advisor. This is just my personal opinions. But of course, if you guys want to continue the conversation and want to chat with us, check us out on our Twitch. Link in the description. Now, we stream Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Hope to see you there. As you guys know, live streaming is a pretty big deal out there, and there's multiple companies that actually do this kind of service. But we know about 4 in particular that actually deal with this and specialize in this industry that we know of. Obviously, there was a 5th one, but you guys know what happened with that one. There's Google with YouTube Gaming. There's Facebook with Facebook Gaming. There's Amazon, who owns Twitch, and BitTorrent, who owns DLive. Now, of course, the big dog in the industry is Twitch. They originally were Justin.tv, but they started first. They have the biggest market. They have the most live viewers. We can't really say too much about Facebook or YouTube because that's not their main thing. Facebook, of course, with its social media, and of course YouTube that just have videos similar to what you see here. But they are growing in this industry and also live viewership and stuff like that, but they don't specialize in it like Twitch has. Then of course there's DLive, but they haven't got a big stronghold in the industry, at least not yet. They had some moving parts when PewDiePie was live streaming there, but it didn't pick up as much as the people in the community hoped it would. So it's still relatively small. Now, for this particular video, we're going to focus more so on Amazon's Twitch and why I think Twitch may be in trouble. Why? Because there's actually an upcoming company that may compete head to head with the big dog Amazon themselves and compete directly with Twitch. Now, for argument's sake, we don't know where Ninja or Stroud is going to go. I mean, they are free agents after all. They can always go back to Twitch and go try YouTube. Maybe even try Facebook if they allow it. Now, there is one upcoming streaming platform that might make Twitch run for its money. And that, my friends, is what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is, of course, Amazon, who owns Twitch. Now, similar to our discussion last week where Sony and Microsoft, they own multiple platforms, not just what we're talking about specifically, but just for argument's sake, Amazon's right here. They engage in the proficiency of online retail shopping services, operates with the following business segment. Top of the retail services, they also have the Amazon Web Services, AWS, and of course the segment involving the global sales of compute, storage, database, and of course AWS service offerings for startups, enterprises. And it is not specifically mentioned here, but of course Twitch. And of course in this paragraph here, Amazon bought Twitch for $970 million in cash back in 2014. And never look back. Now, as an investor, did Amazon get the return in that initial investment? According to this next article, undoubtedly, heck yes. Now, if you guys recall, back in 2014, there was a bidding war between Google and Amazon. This is all before Google even had the YouTube gaming, I believe. I don't recall them really investing much in live streaming back in the day. Google even offering up to $1 billion but undoubtedly they chose Twitch at 970 million. Now the reason why they chose Amazon over Twitch is they felt that Google might take too much control over them, and they wanted a little bit more flexibility to kind of like handle how they want to deal with the streaming platform. Now, his article has been updated in 2019, so it's not quite the exact figure, but during that time, Twitch boasted a valuation of about $3.79 billion. So they definitely got their money's worth out of that. They were of course very big into esports. That was their main traffic coming in around that time frame with games like League of Legends. Much like YouTube, Twitch makes most of the money for advertisements, but a majority of that money actually comes from subscriptions themselves. You know, given the contract, most of the time is a 50-50 split for the most part. 50 goes to the actual streamer, 50% goes back into Twitch. Now, if you account for all the subscriptions at that 50-50 mark, they are making a ton of money. Twitch also makes money through its other subscription models, the tier 2 and tier 3s, as well as the Amazon affiliate, Twitch Prime. And of course, finally, they also get like a cut of the in-game currency known as bits. So being that Twitch is primarily on its own, like Amazon doesn't really have a say in what they do, but I'm sure they get a cut of that somehow. Now, it is all well and good and everything. It sounds like Amazon, in particular Twitch, are doing fine, right? It's hard to say where the future holds. So as I mentioned before, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really tell you what to do with your money. Me as a personal investor, it doesn't make sense for me to rush into Amazon. It's way too expensive. It's $2,693 right now. Even its 1-year history is doing pretty damn good, but I think a majority of that obviously goes to its e-commerce, mostly than Twitch. Now, if you stretch the history past 5 years for Amazon, they have been increasingly growing very, very nicely. Now, me personally, I was able to get around, I think 2014. So it was right around $300 is when I initially got Amazon myself, and of course I held it. But even at that point, I was mostly looking at the e-commerce side of it. Even from 2014 to 2015, it still didn't show too much of an increase. I think just purely on the acquisition on Twitch. If anything, it was just how giant Amazon in terms of the e-commerce is. Now, obviously, as an investor, I definitely don't recommend getting into like a big company like Amazon already. It makes more sense to kind of go into a much cheaper stock that you think has growth potential, because even if this stock doubles in price, really your money back twice, like a 2 times gain on that one. So it really only makes sense to investors who got in there on the earlier run. Even for myself, even though I got it at a pretty cheap price, I still don't think I got it at the very cheapest possible moment. If I would have got it back in like 1998, where it was worth $53, then yes, that'd be very smart. But that's assuming I keep it for this long, up to this point. But as a long-term investor, that's probably something you would do. So if you're one of the folks out there that pretty much are kicking yourself for like not jumping in the boat for Amazon at the early stages, so what if I told you right now, there's a company out there that could potentially compete, especially in the streaming platform division, and compete directly against Amazon at a much lower share price. Probably thinking, Talos, you're crazy. There's no way they compete with Amazon and everything that they have. And you're probably right in the e-commerce side of things. But what about the live streaming events? There's actually one company I could think of right now that's actually a pretty good price and has a lot of growth potential. We'll talk about it right now. And that company is Tencent. So what's Tencent and why should I care? Well, here's my 2 cents. Tencent Holding is an investment company. It operates through the following segments: value-added services, fintech, business services, online advertising, and others. And there's plenty of others, which we'll discuss further later. And as you can see here, it's only valued at $62 as of today, with a 93% buy rate. What I also like about this stock is that it offers dividends. Not much, but compared to Amazon, it does offer dividends. So a 0.22 dividend yield here, with a market cap of $595.44 billion. Now, they can't compete against Amazon at $1.34 trillion, but what they can compete against is Twitch, at least at the very least, Twitch. Now, for those that might not know, Tencent is one of the largest tech companies in China. It owns WeChat, the country's top messaging app, and the second largest cloud platforms, one of the country's largest video game streaming platforms, and one of its top digital payment platforms. Other companies that it's competing against is Alibaba and Baidu. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it quite correctly. Baidu is actually one of the platforms that owns the viral short video app TikTok. Now, when it comes to gaming, they're huge. They are locking in gamers with hit games like Honor of Kings, Peacekeeper Elite, PUBG, and League of Legends. But there's more. They own a stake in overseas companies like Fortnite, published by Epic Games, Bayoneta's developer, Platinum Games, Ubisoft, and Activision Blizzard. They're also countering Alibaba right now in the world of cloud and fintech markets. So they're highly diversified, especially against its other China markets, Alibaba and Baidu. Now to kind of string this home a little bit more, check this article out, or at least Wikipedia out. They have full ownership of Riot Games, the American developers for League of Legends, as well as Valorant. They're approximately 84% owners for the Finnish company Supercell, which owns Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. They own 40% of Epic Games, developer of course Fortnite, 20% ownership of the Japanese publisher and developer Marvelous, 5% ownership of the American holding company Activision Blizzard, and you also have ownership of the South Korean company, the publisher of PUBG. Now the reason why I'm kind of putting out these in particular is those are typically the big games that are live streamed on Twitch. But why does that matter? Well, let's dive into a bit more, shall we? This is pretty much why. Tencent Holdings is rolling out a live streaming service very similar to Amazon's own Twitch in the US. China's largest company has been quietly testing a mobile-focused streaming network via an affiliate in the United States since at least March. The new service closely resembles Twitch in its appearance and functionality. Trovo, which is the name of the actual streaming platform, also spotlights marquee titles like the Grand Theft Auto and Destiny 2. This week it details plans on its website to entice and reward creators with US $30 million partnership program starting in July. It's just kind of interesting that it will start in July, especially with the whole mixer situation happening. Those are pretty much the main games being streamed right now on Twitch. I'm not saying they would do this, but they might do this where they can potentially make those games featured more prominently on this new platform. Now, I'm not saying they could pull those games out from Twitch and just exclusively stream in their platform, but it's definitely a thought-provoking idea. It's also kind of interesting too is the fact that Ninja, the biggest Fortnite player, a free agent right now, could also potentially dive into this new platform. Now players that do League of Legends, PUBG, Valorant, they can also dive into Trovo here. It's kind of a weird name too, Trover. Like I guess you can be a Trover. It's not as cool sounding as like a YouTuber or a Twitcher. I guess Twitcher is not really very good either. But you get the idea, a Trovo streamer. And if you guys know anything about League of Legends, Riot Games, Valorant, they're also trying to be very big in esports. How big in fact? They're gonna be starting an esports town. Kind of a funny comment here. Forget about Disneyland or Universal Studios. How about going to an esports theme park for your next holiday? It comprises of an esports theme park, esports university, culture and creative park, animated industrial park, creative block, tech entrepreneurial companies, and Tencent's cloud data center. It will also try to teach and even house future esports players. The site will host national esports events and as well as act as the hub for the Tencent's game development. Now, I'm not saying that Tencent is going to take over the world or anything like that. I'm not saying that Tencent is probably going to be, you know, a $1 trillion company, surpass Amazon, Twitch, take down Twitch and all that. But competition is nice. You don't want a company to be the only major streaming platform out there. It's kind of a perfect time too that makes a shut down and something brand new rises. So definitely something to look forward to, something to definitely add to your watch list. And as I mentioned before, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really tell you what to do with your money, but I'm just showing you all the data here and what makes sense, how it just kind of piece lining up. Now, as I show you myself, this is going to be a very interesting thing to watch in the future. But whether you're on Twitch, whether you try out Trovo, whether you're going to be on Facebook gaming, YouTube gaming, obviously options are good. Competition is good. So whether you agree with me or not, definitely check us out on our own Twitch channel. Links down below. We stream Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I mean, this is always fun talking about stocks. We can always continue that conversation over there in the stream. and have face-to-face interaction and engagement. So I'm not sure if I'll be doing this every week, but as I mentioned before, it all depends on what's happening in the news, what excites me to talk about. But that effectively ends this video. Hopefully you guys like it, and if you do, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to this channel as well for more content just like this. And of course, let me know in the comments down below, do you guys agree with me, not agree with me? Do you think Tencent is going to be the next big thing, especially with new streaming platform? Obviously we'll cover more about this in our Stilly news episode if they have more updates on it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So I'll see you in the next video. So until next time, it's Talos out. Alright, laters. Now of course if you guys want to continue, now of course if you guys